Hi, my name is Shanda Cool, and my family was largely affected by the Souris River flood in Minot, North Dakota. I think in order for you to understand what we lost, you must understand what we had. So here are some pictures that I compiled that help tell the story. My husband Patrick and I were raised in Minot and married here 8 years ago after going to college in Fargo. We moved back home and purchased a 1941 craftsman style house on 9th Street Northwest. We lived there with our large tabby cat Sydney. The home, it had been a grocery store for the Liebergs back in the day, and we were in love with it at first sight. It was our dream home, but it did need a lot of work, and we spent the next 5 years renovating the home to get it just the way we liked it. I wish I had some pics to show you of what it looked like with our furnishings, but this is all I have now, so these are the pics that we took as we evacuated. Here are the bookshelves Patrick built in for all my cookbooks, and here was the pot rack that he welded for me. I had a lot of kitchen utensils. We painted everything in the house and refinished the floors together. We spent many nights on these stairs with hand sanders. We did all the work of the tile in the bathroom. Upon evacuation, we moved a lot of the items upstairs. We also had to evacuate our business, so by the time our friends and family got to our house, we were exhausted. We were hopeful that all items on the second floor would be safe. Needless to say, we lost a lot of clothing, bedding, furnishings. We just didn't understand how the water would engulf our house 9 feet and how it would sit in the sewage water for a month and the kind of impact that would have on any belongings left in the home. Our basement is structurally damaged. It was not recommended by FEMA for rebuild. We were also denied loan money from SBA based on having a small business. SBA said if we sell our business assets that they would finance the rebuilding of a home. We just aren't willing to do that. This business is our dream. Patrick and I have always wanted to be small business owners. Patrick spent a summer working on grad school at the Academy of Art in San Francisco, and I joined him and stayed there for over a year in 2009 so I could fulfill my dream and go to culinary school. We both worked very hard and saved our money so that I would be able to attend school, and we always had the intention that we would open a French style bakery in Minot and make breads and pastries unmatched in this state. We kept our home. We knew we were coming back. We made a lot of sacrifices for our dream. We lived apart for 6 months. I lived in a somewhat shady neighborhood in an apartment alone. In San Francisco, that's pretty dangerous. I saw people get shot across the street. I worked at school and then worked in the city. I helped the popular American Cupcake open its doors and developed recipes and concepts for this hotspot. Here's some pics I took of the restaurant. I also worked at this resort called Carneros Inn. They had a restaurant called Farm where everything was fresh and local. We would pick the strawberries for the tarts. I developed my concept of cuisine, and Patrick and I studied and ate and ate and worked and ate, all with the intentions of bringing our travels back to Minot. We had a dream, and when we came back, we were offered an amazing space in the Brick Studio downtown, where we immediately started renovating and catering in anticipation of our opening September 1st, 2011. Then the flood came. Here's some pics of Brick before and after. We had acquired a substantial line of credit from a local bank and purchased the equipment we would need. This is the Matador, my bread oven from Germany. We were able to save him and most of our equipment from the waters by using the elevator to move the 2,200-pound oven. We moved it upstairs. Thank God our landlord was able to let us keep our stuff there during this trying time. Patrick had just built this room freezer. It was $7,000. Since it was built in, we couldn't move it. That was one of the items that we lost. I lost my job when the flood came. We lost all the revenue from the cater jobs and the weddings that we had to cancel. You see, we didn't even have a home to bake things in, so we couldn't keep those orders. We stayed with friends and family, although that was tricky too, since my brother and his wife and their child and Patrick's parents, they were all displaced and their homes were all destroyed due to the flood. We are now rebuilding our business in the brick. Slowly but surely, we lost so much. We aren't trying to get ahead anymore. We're just playing catch up. Patrick teaches during the day and works on grad school and the bakery at night. Patrick was supposed to propose his formal thesis plan for school just as it flooded, and he's now behind in his schooling as well. I'm now working 12-hour shifts, 4 days a week at 10 North Main here in town. I also have been contracted for some administrative work at a local bank a few mornings a week as well. And I'm working on getting SNF back up and running. People told me before I became a business owner that it will affect your life and that your relationships will be strained and you'll work harder than you ever have and it will take its toll. That was before the flood. I don't think it was possible that I could work harder, but it is. My husband and I sleep around 4 hours a night. Having a dream is easy. Implementing it, that's the hard part. And then implementing it a second time after a disaster is just plain mad. I'm jaded now. I realize my life would have been easier if I wouldn't have gone down this road, but we must go on. We work, and every day we get a little bit closer to getting back some of what we had before. We're making up for lost time. We're living in a 400 square foot FEMA trailer with our cat Sydney on a piece of family's land. Our home is in foreclosure and our perfect credit score is already dropping, but we have plans to go together with Patrick's parents, who also lost their home, and to build a home in which we can live together, which is really all we can afford after such a financial blow. We still vow to bring upscale pastries to Minot. We will see Sweet and Flour succeed. After all this, how could we give up? Maybe the final success to come will then be even sweeter.